And good evening, everybody out there in the World Wide Web. My name is GM Dave, and I am your host for Role Play Games. And the first thing I want to do this evening, I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming to the stream this evening. I hope you have a lot of fun, or afternoon or morning, no matter where you are in the world, because we are live on Twitch. Next, after the greetings, I have to do the introduction for my lovely cast of characters right here. First, we're going to start off with, on the top left corner, Adita Val Delanov. All right, and after Adita, we have next to her, Nico Valborda. Ah, there you go. And after Nico, the newest addition to our crew. Actually, she's not really new anymore. She's starting to become a regular staple. You've been with us for about, what, 2 months now? 3 months? Awesome. Everyone, Fortuna Valmehan. And normally this is the part where I say, you know him, you love him, he eats lamb. Ceres. Unfortunately, Ceres will not be joining us this evening. However, Ceres, if you're watching from wherever you are, know that we miss you and we love you. Take care, okay? And we'll see you soon.
Have a lamb sandwich in the kitchen. Bite.
And last but not least, fellow Twitch streamer, we have the lovely Theodora Valsheem. All right, so one of the fun things we like to do is before we ever begin the session, this is a PG-13 stream, so we're always allowed one F-bomb per stream. So my cast of characters, please roll a d20. Highest roll gets the F-bomb. Oh, wow, Theodora's in the lead.
Oh, no. Nice. Deserved.
I'll own it and say it was dishonest. I rolled a D100.
Oh.
Oh, boo.
Oh. It just so happened it was perfectly at that.
So I wouldn't have said anything. Okay, 15. All right, Theodora, you get the...
So does this mean Theodora... So is Theodora going to steal her own F-bomb?
Probably.
No. You know what that means?
What does it mean?
We get her.
Yeah, you guys get to.
Oh, no. Is this a race to steal the F-bomb for Theodora?
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's like it's a...
You have to use it strategically.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Also going to do a quick shout out to Siren Scrape, who likes to provide us with the music that you'll be listening to in the background as the game is playing. And Paradigm Concepts, they are the company that created Arcanis, the World of Shattered Empires. Check them out on Drive-Thru RPG. All right. The cast has been assembled. The F-bomb has been rolled. The thanks have been given. Let us begin tonight's episode of The Burnished Band.
The rise and fall of empires drives Arcanis. Their petty dramas played out against the backdrop of civilizations. Peaceable halflings, Insector de Sori and Ilhuan, they were all of them wiped out by the unstoppable force of reptilian Sethragor, whose magic twisted the elemental lords to forge the Elori. Elf-like children of nature, enslaved by Sethragoran might. Abused by their cruel creators, the Elori revolted. They carved out a time of peace and order on Onara, a time when gods walked the earth. But peace is not the story of Arcanis. Ancient ships brought the humans to Onara. They slew the Elori gods, all but one. The human kingdoms rose and fell, and a dark human power grew in a mandragore. The sorcerer king who drew magic and power to him with unnatural might. In his arrogance, a curse was laid. The infernal hordes spewed forth across the world, crushing human, dwarf, and Elori in their wake. Rising to meet them, a last alliance of humanity, the Koryani Empire, forged in a time of legend. But the age of legends is long past, and the Koryani Empire is fading. The Elori of the Vast would return. The sorcerer king, Lady Mandragore, sends black ships to capture all with arcane potential. Sethragor gathers power in dark machinations, and the human nations point swords at one another. Now, the mortal future is at stake. Heroes must choose the greatest good as often as the lesser of two evils. Arcanis, the world of shattered empires.
Where we last left our heroes, they continued to enjoy the Saturnalian festival. And while doing so, they partaked in many events. And quite the highlight of their day was 4 out of our 5 heroes participated in the gladiatorial activities. One by one, each they fought a champion, and one by one, each champion fell. And our very own Nico Valborda is currently hailed as the new champion of the Savonin Fight Pits, for he did defeat Selden, the previous champion and former champion of the Colosseum. Upon enjoying the rest of the evening and kind of recovering from their battle wounds, our heroes did decide for some, well, quite frankly, after fighting, sometimes you get a little hungry. So they stopped by a little diner called the Midnight Diner in the sleeping hours of Savona. They entered the place. Some just ordered the standard pork soup. Some ordered something different. So at this diner, the practitioner says that he'll make whatever you want as long as he has the ingredients. And so it happened. Our heroes were enjoying a nice, lovely meal until Theodora, looking over at someone else entering the small restaurant, only discovered it was a clean-shaven Nico. So, that's where we last left our heroes. Burnished Band, what would you like to do?
So no one else sees this. It's just Theodora.
Everyone is kind of enveloped in their own soup right now. Theodora, you're the first one to see him.
So there.
And he goes, "Oh, pardon me. I didn't mean to see there, my lady. I'm just going to go ahead and scoot on by and get something to eat."
Theodora's just gonna jab Nikos in the status. You should probably try that more often.
Ow, ow, ow. What? What?
Motion to the gentleman.
You see the guy sits down and he sees you motioning to him. He looks next to you at Nico and kind of stops. And you see he blinks. And as this is going on, as you two are kind of looking at each other, eventually Adita and Fortuna, you both see this. Ceres is currently too engrossed in a third helping of his lamb dish and some pork soup.
Theodora's gonna egg this on and saying, "I don't know, Adita, what do you think? You think Nico should try that more often? He would look fairly nice."
I mean, I'd be impressed if he managed to bathe frequently enough, let alone shave.
That's
No
true.
no shit. Nico?
Mika?
And you see the gentleman, the purveyor of the restaurant. "Oh, Mika. The usual? Yeah."
Once he's done ordering, grabbing him by the back of the head and just yanking him in for a hug.
And he follows suit. And he's like, "What? I looked for you."
It's like, well, I couldn't really get away from the Legion that easy, you know? I mean, that commander that pulled me out was, yeah. that was rough.
I didn't know where to find you. I tried looking everywhere. I even at one point left Savona and went to Grand Corian, and I couldn't find Nico Valborda anywhere.
I mean, they had us moving all over the place. Ended up getting stuck with these guys here, and oh, that's right. Hey, everybody. This is my brother. This is Mika.
Hi, everyone. Wow.
Nice to meet you.
You surrounded yourselves with some girls, and you've done. You see, I'm very proud of you. I expected no less of you, brother.
Theodore's just gonna lean on his shoulder, put an armor on Nico's shoulders, like, oh yes, he's very skilled.
Hey, Witch, you want some of these nuts? And I'll pass Fortuna the bowl of nuts that are on the counter between us. These are great.
Oh no, and Fortuna is definitely going to take some and watch this unfold because this is essentially a novela and it looks great.
It's amazing. Theodore
Yep.
is not helping the
Story
situation.
in a minute.
Well, so wait,
As bad as shot as Nico?
you've been with the Legion for all this time?
Well, yeah. I mean, I couldn't just pop out the way we used to when we were kids, because that guy was watching everything.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Well, got some good news for you. We don't gotta worry about him no more.
What happened?
Well, it was a shame, really. I mean, he fell on his axe a few times. Just very clumsy.
Very clumsy. Very emphatically clumsy.
Oh, must have been an accident, right? In the Legion. Accidents
Yeah.
happen all the time.
Oh yeah, it was a horrible accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, look, that guy's in the past. You got to tell me, why are you here? What's going on? Like, we got a few years to catch up on.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And you do notice that he's wearing kind of a he's wearing a nicely kept tunic with some actual embroidery. I mean, it's currently like a deep green color, belt, pouches. And you do see he has like a side sword on him because, you know, you don't want to wander the streets out, especially this time of night. Yeah, I got here because I always come to this place for some dinners. He's a great guy. You know, Shiro is wonderful.
Yeah, man knows how to cook up a decent stew. I mean, I'm impressed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, quite frankly, he makes some awesome. I ask him for just some meat skewers, and whatever sauce he puts on them is fantastic.
You know, when he brings out your food, I got to try a little bit of it. I mean, I have to protect my younger brother, you know, and just kind of do that.
5
little
minutes.
thing
5 minutes. After all these years, you still can't get over that.
Hey, say, actually, wait, no, legit question, because the last time we did it, was I the older brother or were you the older brother? Because I can't remember where we left off on that scheme.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we can always rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, roll a d20. Let's see what happens.
Theodore's just leaning over to Adita and steals some of her peanuts.
Ha ha!
These nuts,
Yep.
spicy though.
So
Uh-huh.
you got to tell me. All right, I'm the older brother. You're the younger brother now.
Yeah.
So what you do in the Legion? I mean, what kind of shit? I mean, obviously acquiring a harem seemed to be on your priority.
I wouldn't call him a harem, but
I'm gonna kick Nico under the table. Hard.
just nah, definitely not a harem. But well, I just kind of nudged Theodore a little bit. She might be part of one, but Adita over there,
Hey,
she's one of the
Be-
toughest scrappers I've ever known.
You got to be nicer to the Larissan clerics, man. You know, you don't want to get you don't want to get blue balled by them.
Theodore's just grinning from ear to ear.
Bartender, can we get some more of these nuts? These are amazing.
He peeks up. Hey. You do see that he eventually brings out some nuts. So he's like, so we're celebrating a family reunion of sorts?
So it seems.
Best show I've seen in months.
Yeah, I haven't seen Nico here in years.
Yeah, Micah. Whew, that guy. I'm telling you, I hear he's kind of an asshole.
I always thought Nico was the asshole in the family. What about you, Dora?
I don't know.
I mean, Nico's definitely the one who can't shoot, can't hit anything.
Yeah.
either.
No, you are 100% accurate in that. We probably need to train him a little more.
You're right. I wonder if Miko is better at it.
Hey, I'm at least the pretty one.
You see, he kind of is like, they bust your balls. They must be good friends.
Oh, all the time. All the time.
So where have you
Family
been?
tradition.
I gotta know, being in the Legion of all, where do you guys go? Where have you been?
Well, we're gonna need some more alcohol for that, and probably a decent place to sit down and just talk. And yeah, if there's like a booth or anything, just kind of take them there, sit down, and just start talking.
There is nowhere else to sit. Literally, this is a very intimate establishment. There's just the one bar that is the entire restaurant, and everything behind it is the kitchen and the serving area.
All right, screw it. I'll just start talking to them right there,
All right.
and I'll bring everyone else in on it for like the important parts, like just kind of talking up Adita being this real scrapper of a fighter, Theodora being, well, her.
Theodora?
Yeah. Yeah, talk about how we just came across Fortuna, and she is all sorts of crazy, but in a fun crazy.
And then
just
Celeste.
just carefully talk about Celeste without getting his attention too much, because I don't want to confuse the poor boy.
What? Wait.
We just
No,
give him more
don't
land.
worry, Celeste. Just
Why are there two Nikos?
No, Celeste. well,
Magic.
yeah, it's magic. Celeste.
Magic.
It's magic.
It's all part of a dream.
Like, even just to add to that, Fortuna's just going to, like, quickly prestidigitation some sparkle poofs behind one of them.
Yeah.
Magic. I was SpongeBob.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I guess after you catch up for a bit, you tell him a little bit about campaigning. He says, well, I grew up here on the streets. I've had to learn to fend for myself. Eventually, I found I got in with a little crew of guys. And we started running, some scams. I started teaching them the business and how me and you used to run things. And, eventually I haven't done bad for myself. I mean, look, my clothes are clean. I apparently had some skills that I figured out along the way that I didn't know apparently you and me are kind of special. Did you know that?
Yeah, I started kind of picking up on that when I kind of fell through a shadow and popped out the other side of it.
Oh, snap, you too?
Yeah.
So, apparently, we're part of a family called the Valbordas.
Yeah, that I'm still trying to read up a little more about that. Apparently, it's got some kind of connection to, well, Theodora and Fortuna back here, just because of the Vals they are.
Damn, so wait. How many Vals are in this place?
Yes.
Yo,
Yeah.
You see
I'll just put
Celeste
Celeste's
starts...
hand down. No, just put his hand down.
well, I absolutely pick up Celeste's other claw and just be like,
He's 3 Cerestin in a Cerestin suit, okay? We've been through this.
he's Val Ceresin, obviously.
100%.
Anybody has a problem with that? We're gonna have words outside.
Hey, I got no problem with it. But, man, there was a time where people with the name of Val walking around the city, it was never a good idea. But apparently, if grew up in the city and you have the name, all of a sudden people show you a little bit more respect.
Yeah, and being in the Legion kind of helped a few matters too. So, yeah, it's all about just that appearance. I mean, there was this bar we were at not too long ago, the one where we met Fortuna at. Some guy was running his mouth. He was about to just pull something stupid. And it's hard to kind of talk crap when you have a barrel, like the barrel of a gun in your mouth.
A round of drinks also helps.
Oh, wow. You got a flintlock?
Honesty in the Legion.
I'll just pull the one out, put it away, and then pull the second one out.
You got two.
The shotgun?
Man.
The rifle.
Yeah, I'm not pulling the rifle out.
Okay.
If I could be officially recognized in some capacity, I could get one of those. But do you have any contacts?
You're often more trouble than they're worth, right, witch? Or more nuts?
I mean, my contacts travel. I know at least one or two that would be okay to talk to, but it can be problematic.
Huh.
I have no idea if Theodora knows anyone that's probably.
Well,
Yeah, because I got mine through the Legion. Yeah, I got mine through the Legion, and that was that was a pain in the ass to begin with. But look, I'm not going to make you a promise I know I won't be able to keep, but I can keep an ear out, see what I find.
okay. Eventually, as you guys are talking, his food does arrive, and you see he gets 3 kind of skewers. One seems to be one comprised of like a lamb like ground lamb on the skewer, followed by some ground bovine or cow on the skewer, then one with chicken, and one with some sort of crustacean from the ocean. I believe they call it a shrimp.
They're pronounced shrampies.
Yeah. So the first time I came here, the owner asked me what I wanted to eat. I told him, I'm just used to kind of scraps, and then he gave me these, and he says, "Here, try some different meats and see which one you like." The problem is, I like them all, and this kind of became my staple here.
Nothing
What do you
wrong with
call
that.
Yeah. It smells pretty good.
Yeah, no, I never heard of anyone complaining about anything Shiro makes.
What do you call that thing that you're eating?
This, we just call it ground lamb on the skewer.
Ground lamb on a
Oh
stick.
no, Fortuna looks over at.
What? I want.
Nope, I am blocking Ceres from taking food off the plate
Yeah,
as
we
I
just
reach to take food off the plate myself.
Nico, you said we're family. He's my brother too.
Ceres, you just ate 3 pots of stew and how much lamb?
I don't know.
Shit, you have to let everyone else get some food first, and then once everyone at least has seconds, then you can get your fourths.
Okay.
He's a growing teenage Soresan going through puberty, Nico.
Hey, Nico,
Yeah.
I thought Soresans were like green.
He's going through puberty. Ceresan puberty's weird. If you have a problem with that, we can step outside.
we can
Damn.
also just form. We can also just educate.
Does she like want to fight everyone she meets?
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Us, says the chef. Oh man. So some more conversation to have. So what brought y'all to Savona?
Point at Theodora.
I'll just point at Theodora also.
Theodora just wave. It's like it's time for a
Apparently he points at
festival.
Theodora because that's what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, it's time for a festival. Why not?
Meanwhile, Fortuna pulls like a paper out from her cleavage contract.
Oh, okay. A businesswoman. I can respect that. So, I mean, what are you guys doing now? Are you still part of the Legion?
Nah, we're out. We got out a little while ago, and right now we're just kind of doing sellsword work.
No kidding.
Apparently profitable.
I retired exactly 2 days ago.
Well, damn. So, okay, so you taking them skills you learned in the Legion, now applying them to the rest of the world.
Yeah, pretty
More or
much.
less.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Main-
Legion skills.
I mean, to be fair, it's through the Legion skills and contacts we've done as well as we have to some extent, and our own efforts.
So, how much longer are you guys going to be in Savona?
Well, I know we gotta make sure Theodora does that run or something. But I think probably
Gotcha.
stick around. Yeah, probably sticking around for a few days.
Okay. Well, I got some stuff going on right now. And as he says that, there's a knock. And the door opens up. And you see a kind of a like early 20s Morantian guy stick his head through the door. He goes, "Hey, boss. Everyone's ready." Okay. Boss, that guy, hey, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Step outside. You got it, boss. Hey, I'm going to keep up. We're going to keep in touch. Where are you staying?
Oh, that's the Rosie. I
Oh,
forgot the name of it, honestly.
you
Close enough.
close enough. You mean the Stiletto de Rosa?
Stiletto de Rosie.
Yeah, that's where we're sticking around for now.
That's one of the highest places in town, man. Just remember the damn name. You always had trouble remembering things.
Well, excuse me, if I was the one that always had to rush in to steal things first, and then you had to be the one to talk afterwards.
Yeah, I was the one with the good looks.
Yeah, it seems I'm the one with the good looks now.
I don't know, man. I don't know if we could do a beard.
Fortuna's taking peanuts at the same time.
Oh no,
Any-
the peanut gallery is totally just sharing the peanuts right now.
So I got to get going because apparently one of the big bosses in town got knocked out. So there's a little bit of trouble going on. So me and the guys going to just be...
Insight check.
I was gonna say it's
Go ahead.
oh, my
Because
sheets are really-
I think I know what he's talking about.
But well,
or-
yeah.
I do know what he's talking about.
I don't know anything about what's going on here. I'm enjoying the peanuts too much.
So yeah, some stuff is just going on. You know, someone whacked the big boss, and you know, people are a little scared. So we're just trying to make sure that our people don't get hurt.
All right. As he says this, I'm just gonna quickly switch to a language that I know him and I would have shared as a kid,
Okay.
and just ask him, "You're not in real trouble, are you?"
Oh no, not trouble at all, but maybe opportunity.
Don't get too stupid.
Please, I could say the same about you. I'm worried that that small one might shank you in the kidney.
He's tried and failed. And I'll switch back to common
He'll switch
language.
back to low common too. All right, brother, you take care. And he gets up, he finishes off his meal, and he leaves, closing the door behind him. And you see the old man, he kind of, the chef, just kind of sits there and goes, "Huh. He's talked about you."
Really?
Yeah. He mentioned his brother a couple times. I'm glad to see you're all right. You seem to make him really happy.
Yeah, I'm glad he's doing well for himself. I didn't have much of a chance to try to look for him back in the Legion, but yeah, at least now I know where he is. I can keep tabs on the poor bastard.
He is a good person too. He does look after a lot of people. Meek.
You know what? I would love to hear more about that, but I kind of want to try what he was having because those skewers looked really good.
No problem, sir. AC turns around. He's like, "Don't worry, you've paid more than enough." And he goes back and he starts. He grabs something from what looks to be like an ice chest and throws it onto a grill. You can, really smell the cooking smells wafting from it.
Man,
And
Nico really knows how to change a subject, huh?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I thought I heard howling, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Oh, sorry, that was probably me.
No, that's just started raining outside. So if my internet goes goofy,
gotcha.
Well, we'll know if your hands start doing
yeah,
the thing
yeah,
again.
If you start voguing, we know something's wrong.
yep.
Fair. So, Mika.
Oh,
That
Mika.
dude in real fast.
Yeah, Mika's the one who took off.
I said what I said. So,
But
your brother, huh?
yeah, been meaning to make a plan to go try to find and check on him, but I guess he beat me to it.
Guess he did. Seems like he's in pretty deep with some heavy stuff, huh?
Heck, I mean, I couldn't really get a read on him, but that's something I know the two of us were kind of we tried to make sure we couldn't read each other. It's like something definitely caught my attention, but can't put a finger on it.
What did that 18 tell me?
He was definitely referencing the death of Menu. Menu was the guy who was one of the leading bosses for the underground here in Sweet Savona. And-
Totally not the guy that we found murdered and torn apart by
Bug people.
thing.
Bug people.
Yeah, I'm like, I know the word, and I'm
Yep,
sorry.
that's exactly who y'all found.
Yeah, him. I knew exactly who it was,
Hydrate.
but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure, like.
So, all right. So he was definitely talking about that. Anything else that I picked up from that hint?
Well, you were reading between the lines big time on that one. Because you got an 18? Yeah, that's really high.
Yeah.
There was a sense that they are protecting their territory because since there is now a power vacuum in the city after losing one of their toughest crime lords, now some people are going to try to maybe meddle in on other territories because the balance has been destabilized. And what you were able to gather when you looked outside is there was quite a few people that was outside. Do me a favor, since you got the insight check. Adita, give me a perception check.
I remember where perception is, guys.
All right.
Hey!
12 is enough to realize there was maybe about 8 people that you can see. There possibly could have been more of varying degrees of height, sizes, ages. But yeah, when he left, there was quite a bit of foot traffic that left with him.
Seems like your brother was about to get into some real heavy work, so to speak. There were more than twice our number outside waiting for him. Is he as good in a fight as you are? Can he handle his own?
I mean, hell, when we were kids, we used to scrap around a lot, but hell, we're Legion. I don't think he was. That's a bit of a difference right there. Because what, 3 Legionnaires is 1 person, basically.
I mean, Zares maybe.
Well, Ceres can eat 3 people or 3 legionnaires, but
I wasn't gonna say it out loud in public. But yeah, you know, a legionnaire in armor, absolutely. That right there is a one-person advanced squad. So, to my point, you trust your brother to handle his own in this? I mean, I know you guys just reunited and everything. I'd hate for it to be a last chance.
yeah, I mean, I am kind of tempted to make sure the little brother. No, wait, he's older brother this time. The older brother's doing okay.
The little brother, the older brother, I can't keep up.
It's amazing.
Right? Like, I'm here for it, don't get me wrong.
The chef does come out and he brings you the 4 meat plate. Here you go, sir. And if you want, here's a little sauce that you can try. It is a garlic-based sauce that been passed down in the family for a while.
Yeah, as we're talking, I'll just start eating.
All right. And you too are enjoying a fantastic meal. It is meat by themselves, but the seasoning just seems to be spot on.
Yeah, after taking a few bites, just kind of look at everybody. I mean, that's probably enough of a head start for them to... Should we start going?
I wouldn't worry myself, says the older man. You see, he seems to be reading a local newspaper because they have those. It's just like one sheet of announcements. I wouldn't be worried about your brother. He can handle himself. Have some faith in that.
You can always check in on him tomorrow.
Yeah. Or, well, maybe he'll pop by and visit us.
I don't know if I'm ready for 2 Nikos sticking around.
Well, would it be better just go by 2 Mikas?
Look, I don't care whether you call yourself Nico or Mika or Meetsicle. It's all fine by me. Just as long as you keep straight which one of you is Legion.
Well, I got the beard, so I'm the pretty one. Guess I'm Legion.
Oh. And I'm gonna lean over to Theodora. Man, that family was more unfortunate than I thought.
I'm just gonna take a piece of just pull some meat off the skewer and just put it in Nita's mouth.
Theodore's gonna reach over and just steal a piece from his plate. We have to get back here tomorrow night.
We do.
This is surprisingly fantastic for
That's amazing, and I have ideas of what to have next time.
whatever meat stick stuff this is.
All right. So you continue to enjoy the rest of your evening. You guys finish up.
Yeah, before we leave, I am gonna just kind of head over to the chef, Shido, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was an amazing meal. We're definitely gonna come back. And as I go to shake his hand, I'm just gonna leave 2 gold pieces in there. And if you could just let me know how he's doing, I'd appreciate it.
I would have been happy to tell you without the gold, but I'll give this as a donation to some people who do need it.
However you see best to do it.
Yes. All right. You guys leave the quaint little diner and you begin to make your way back to the Stiletto de Rosa. Late evening, as you get in, you do see that the torches on the outside, the candles, they're kind of a little bit dimmer. You enter in, you are greeted by the concierge who you have grown to know. And he says, "Oh, welcome back, honored guests, to our establishment."
The character, does this guy sleep?
He has the evening shift.
Okay.
We're gonna be such good friends.
Please enjoy your time. I know you have it for a few more nights.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is gonna be great here.
Theodora is going to take Adita by the shoulders and lead her to the room.
Ow, ow, okay. Your fingers are so pointy.
They could be pointier.
Could they not? Ow! To sharpen your nails? My job.
I learned from the best. She's just going to ruffle her, top knot.
All right. You guys go through the courtyard into the rooms and you find your domicile. With the key, you're easily able to enter in, and there before you, you do see Harlequin, aka Harley, just sitting back. You see there's one book on a table, and he has a book that he is currently reading. "Oh, yes, you've returned. Oh, wonderful, joyous day. Please, please, you don't have to play the music or set the fireworks. They are humble people in this establishment." He just says this to nobody.
Hey, Fortuna,
Yeah.
your cat's an asshole.
He's technically a demon, but yes, he is an asshole. He is my
Devil,
asshole.
I am a devil. I am
said
civilized.
Same thing.
is a
No,
devil.
it is not. A demon comes from the abyss. The devils come from hell. Two different places.
Okay, Mr. Smarty Horns. Where do cats come from then?
From the great god Sarish has blessed humankind with the feline race. They are wonderful creatures and should never be mocked. And don't take that tone with me. I'm a civilized
he's a cat.
person.
That's
You are
definitely
indeed a
cat.
very civilized devil, Harley.
Theodora's going to agree with Adita about the cat.
So tell me, has anybody been up here since we were out?
Someone came to clean. They were quite shocked when they saw me. I informed them that I am in your stewardship and for them to proceed and clean the place. And thus they did. Nothing was taken. This place is quite reputable. I even got myself a manicure. By the way, you owe someone 5 silver pieces for the manicure.
Fair. To be honest, I probably haven't paid you as much as I should, so the manicure's on me.
Wait, you pay him?
Well, yeah. Listen, I don't have to by technicality, but I'm not about that. No indentured servitude on my watch.
Even though I am bound to do whatever she says, should something ever happen to her, I will just go back to hell.
Do you prefer it here?
There's better books here.
I can't argue with that.
There's one or two authors he's really into that are most certainly not going to hell, and if something happens, he won't get those books.
You and Adita should talk more. She's also great at reading.
There's not a lot to do on long voyages, so reading is important, and it's good for you. The more you know.
Hey, Adita? Ain't that
Yeah.
book kind of like one of the ones you read?
Adita or Theodora?
No, Adita.
Ah.
What? No. No. I've been reading up on Resin geography.
Biology?
No, I've been studying the geography of Black Talon Clan. Did you know that they have a wide hunting and gathering range?
I'm not surprised by that.
Insight.
Go for it.
Here's the thing, Theodore's not even gonna try.
Nico is just
So, funny thing is, yes, in their designated lands in Millendeer, they actually have quite a big hunting and gathering range that they're allowed. They are the Black Talon Saracens, and they're allied with Millendeer. They try to help them out from foreign invaders, especially those that come from Sethragor. So, she's not wrong.
She nods, and then she, like, Fortuna goes and picks up Harley, because he's not very big. If I remember, he's about the size of a capuchin monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harley, is there a little something I could ask you to do for myself and Mr. Nico here?
Do you need more scorpions?
No. Devil Dash was fantastic. We may have to incorporate that and get you some money off of that, but that's besides the point. Mr. Nico here has been a little worried about his brother, as it turns out.
Oh. Congratulations on having a brother? Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Well,
Yeah,
you can
correct.
congratulate him if you want, but also if you could do us a big favor and keep an eye on him and just make sure nothing goes wrong. And if something does go bad, come back here and let us know immediately.
Oh, I was enjoying my new novel. It's called Leather and Silk. It's a fantastic story.
Been better.
You know what the beautiful thing about books is, Harley?
Ugh.
Cover art.
Yeah, why don't you go fly and do some work around here? Oh.
Okay, listen, Skiz, just because we didn't take you to the diner doesn't mean you need to be sarcastic. But also, yeah, absolutely. He should
What are you talking about? I was right there with you. You didn't notice me. Am I that forgettable?
Were
No,
you
you're
in
ju-
Mr.
you're
West's
just-
armpit again?
Oh, more like his satchel. I feng shuied the sack pretty good.
No, you're just a master of
think you need to
stealth
think about
and
that.
secrecy. It's fine. We knew you were there the whole time. You just hid very well.
You're very welcome. Now go ahead, you flying ape. You should go do some work. I am going to skin you and rotisserie cook you with some lemon and pepper. Oh, so you're trying to dilute my spice? Is that what's happening? You don't want none of this. You don't know where I've been. You don't know how many rats I've fought for supremacy on the food chain. Really, is no one gonna step in? Are all of you enjoying the show between the devil and the rats?
Anybody want some nuts?
Yeah, Theodore is just like he grabs. I accept some nuts from Adita.
No, yeah,
great.
I'll just get some peanuts there too. Just
Yeah. You want some,
Fortuna
Nico?
just kind of sets Harley on her arm and she starts speaking to him in Hellspeak.
Okay.
And she's like, listen, you're above this. You know you're above this, sir. You're better than this. We are better than this. We've done shows with much harder hecklers. You've got this. And this isn't that bad a mission. It's basically tailing somebody and making sure nothing happens.
I'm gonna lean into Theodore for a second. What the hell was she just saying?
Your guess is as good as mine.
You and I both know that sounds exactly like what your mama probably sang to you before bed, Nico.
I mean, she kind of did hit the alcohol a little hard a couple times.
Ah,
You want some peanuts?
wait. Is Hellspeak any of those or no?
No.
Nope.
Okay, I was just making sure. I don't know what it's called in this setting.
Hell speak.
Oh, it's
Literally
just
that.
Hellspeak? Okay, okay.
Right? System
Fine.
lag is the worst.
I'm just gonna go ahead and I will follow. I mean, what was he wearing? You can't just say his brother. I need a point of reference.
He looks just like him
Peanut
with
too.
no beard. And when I say exactly like him, twins.
This poor, unfortunate world. I will go and do as you command, my lady, he says in Lokoriani.
Well, if she had said the description in like common or like common tongue, would have chimed in with like, the green robes or the green tunic and all that stuff.
She was still chatting to him in Hellspeak, but she would hand, the table over to Nico to say anything else that, before you go, I'm sure Nico might be able to give you a little more on his twin brother, Mika.
Really? Nico and Mika?
Hey, that's what mom and dad said.
What else can you tell? What else can you tell me about your brother?
Well,
Sound offensive.
I'm sure you know about Valbordas.
Yes. You people like to live in the shadows and, sing bad poetry. I get it.
So apparently he's been coming into his own powers too. Stick in the shadows. That'll probably be him. Near as I can tell, seems to be able to take care of his own.
All right.
He kind of
Oh.
reminds me of the boss. You should be able to pick it up from there.
All right.
Fortuna puts a bookmark in his book for him and sets the book aside.
And he goes flying out. All right.
Did you
I love
say?
this so much.
What did I say?
I mean, it sounded like you were gargling rocks.
Oh, I speak Hellspeak. It's handy for the business.
Scorpions. What is it? Part of the whole defraud them and take their money act, witch?
I mean, yes, sometimes. If I sit there and say something like pastrami sandwich in Hellspeak, they think the world is ending.
Wait, say pastrami sandwich in Hellspeak.
And she does, and it's this like gargling guttural kind of.
Probably see a healer about that.
Ain't no healer gonna fix that.
Doesn't seem healthy. It's not right for a person. Just imagine what it does to your vocal cords and the tubes.
I mean, you get accustomed to it, especially with the Sarishan line. You deal with demons and devils on a decent basis.
I already met your cat.
He is a devil, and Harley will take offense. I don't think he'll do anything, but he'll take offense.
To what? Being a cat?
Being called one.
I'm sure he's been called worse.
Oh yes,
Look at his
Flying Monkey was a
blue
favorite
eyes.
back in the circus.
Oh, I guess I could kind of see that. Yeah. Yeah, one of those, the little ones with the bald tops. Yeah, I could see that about him. But flying? Now that's not right. Monkeys shouldn't fly. Gotta
I
do
don't think-
something better.
I don't think cats should either, by that note.
Don't tell the cats. They'll take offense.
You're not wrong there.
But at the very least, Nico. I'm sure we've got at least somewhat of a tale for your brother to make sure he's okay for the night. Harley will be back in the morning and let us know.
I'll definitely appreciate that. Well, I guess all we can really do now is just get some rest. Because it's been a long day.
Probably for the best. You all look like shit.
Theodora is just going to promptly flop back on her pile of pillows.
Spoken like a woman who's never served in the Legion, witch. I'll see you in the pillows, girls.
I'm gonna go over to Theodora and just kind of nudge her with my boot for a second. So what? You're crashing out here tonight?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't feel like looking right now. I'd find someone, but I'm kind of tired.
Listen, your hips
Tomorrow
have to
you're
not
running
be
marathon.
Listen, your hips have to be not displaced in order to do the horizontal tango during all of this.
It's more my shoulder than anything, but that's fine.
Wait,
I'm
you need
pretty
us to
sure
put
I'll
your
make up.
shoulder back?
No, my shoulder's fine. I'm pretty sure I'll make up for it tomorrow.
Huh.
All right. And you all find your designated pillows. Adita seems to climb into a fort that she has built for herself.
Seems legit, yeah.
Yeah,
And you all, go
Theodora's
to
gonna
sleep.
crash in Adita's fort.
Yeah, Adita's fine with that.
Snuggle buddies!
Don't tell Adita, she'd probably get offended. But yeah.
Snuggle buddies, yep.
Snuggle buddies! Please go and have a little cuddle pile.
Hells yeah. It's just, Adita's gonna go to sleep. Gonna feel Theodora just kind of, like, go into her fort and just gonna be like, ugh. And just
You'll get-
wake up. Just hugged and cuddled.
Fortuna's gonna go where Harley had just made like a nice little pillow of himself, like for himself, and she's just gonna lay there.
Nice.
And it is so surprising that... Oh!
Wait, the befucklements have occurred.
Oh!
Guys, swap character sheets. I'm the GM now.
No.
Apologies.
You're back. Oh, but Adita stole the F-bomb.
Ah! That's fine.
I didn't even realize I'd done it.
It's fine.
That's in your
I
normal
really told
lexicon.
Theodora. Okay, that's true. What did I say? Befucklement?
Yeah.
No, befucklement's a whole other word.
It still counts. You said it 3 times.
Oh, next time I'll say Jehovah.
I claim some responsibility for that because I clicked the wrong button.
Yeah, see?
It's a shared
It was
F-bomb.
Theodora's. It was a communal F-bomb. The team F-bomb.
So you have
Aw.
the cuddle fort. You have Fortuna finding her own place. And you have Nico just finding a spot on the floor.
Yeah, I'll just kind of put some pillows against the wall. Just kind of go through the normal routine. Just clean the guns first, fix them up, and then just pass out.
All right. And you know what? It still astonishes you that it's been a while since you've slept in a bed. This doesn't really count, but at the same time, it's pretty darn comfy. Who would have thought that a room just filled with pillows would be kind of relaxing? So, the evening goes on. You all eventually fall asleep. Let's see here. Adita, do me a favor and roll me a percentile.
Ooh.
We're not getting our long rest, are we?
You're getting your long rest. Relax.
You get 62.
62. Let's see. Huh.
It's
Okay.
phone spiders, everyone.
All right. Oh,
we get
and
blood scorpions in our shoes.
thanks for the bits, Senora Medusa.
Whoop whoop bits.
The bits! Adita. The theme in Sweet Savona, it feels like, is dreams. As you sleep, an old memory comes back. You seem to be in an old library. Now, Adita, you've been very good with your studies. I am showing a monicum of pride at your efforts. You need to apply yourself more. Your physical training has gone exceptionally well, but I don't want you to neglect your arcane. There is still much for you to learn. Let us go over some more arcane theory. As the dream continues, you do see your younger self with shorter hair, but covering your entire head. You are much younger, maybe in the beginning of your teens. And the lesson continues on. Sometimes, when it seems like things are going well, they're going really well. But if you select an answer that this figure does not approve of, you do feel a sharp smack to the back of your hand, as if a whip made of air slapped it. And as the day continues, and as the dream continues, with each additional thing that you get wrong, the whipping compounds. Like your first one was 1, your second mistake was 2, your third mistake was 3. And this is an old memory. Maybe one you don't want to remember. And you see the figure before you. Older man. Dark hair, dark eyes. On the Isle of Mandragore, you can hear the storms raging about. The light of several candles on the table in the library of this man's manor. This man, stern as he is, still has spent quite a bit of time raising you and training you to join one of the fingers of the harvesters, the ordainers. Your teacher, Lucius Arata, scolds you and maybe on occasion praises you when you do well. It is now morning. The sun is starting to crest up. Let's see. The first one to awake will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see who wakes up first. Nico, last to go to sleep, but first one to rise. You wake up as the sun comes up. And there before you lies your companions. Ceres, he is in a fort next to Adita's, but his fort is kind of just dived into a lot of pillows. Adita's fort has structure.
At least his fort has pillows. This is Ceres. He might have been using dishes.
You're not wrong.
We should be thankful for small blessings.
Or cutting boards.
I mean, that is legit a concern.
Man, if everyone's still asleep, then I just get up, put some of my gear on, at least make sure I got pants, boots, guns, and yeah, screw it. I'll just ring the bell and just order some breakfast ahead of time.
Okay. You do hear a knock on the door. Hello, housekeeping.
Yeah.
You sent for us?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone else is still asleep. I figured, just get a nice head start on some breakfast. Just. Oh, sorry, I thought I muted myself for a second.
Is there anything in particular you would like?
Yeah, there was some really good stuff that you guys brought us last time. It was like these little things of meat, croaks or something like that.
Ah, the croquettes. Yes.
Yeah, bunch of those. Pastries, coffee, definitely coffee.
Very good, sir. Woof. And the servant goes running. All right.
I know the minute that door opened, Adito was awake. The minute
What?
that door opened.
The second noise happened, Adita shot up and like detangled
Yeah,
herself from
as soon as you-
Theodora's limbs.
As soon as you shut up, you just threw Theodora off and she just let off a huff.
I mean, just like, yeah. And Adita, normally she kind of wakes up, kind of gives a look around, but this morning she gets quickly out of her nest of pillows in her fort and walks over to the water basin and splashes cold water on her face and just kind of, takes a moment to breathe.
Coffee's on the way. Should be here in a few.
Yeah, that sounds good, Nico. Thanks.
Theodora would pull the blanket off of her head that no doubt flop it onto her and just be like, "You alright, Adita?"
Yeah, just hard sleep. Fun.
Insight check.
Sleepy insight.
Yes, sleepy insight check. Hold on. Yes, sleepy insight check.
Roll 20.
You know what? Adita, give me a deception check. Let's see how bad it is.
Yeah, let's see how bad Adita is at deception. Deception should not be charisma based, but anyway.
Even half asleep.
Yeah. You know what? Both of you are half asleep, but Theodora, you do, from the sound of Adita's voice, definitely something was not right with her and with her sleep.
Theodora would just look at Nico and just kind of nudge her head to Adita.
Hey, Adita, so we got some more of them croquettes coming up. Coffee should be here soon. I might be able to help wake you up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure it will. Food will probably be a good idea. And yeah.
And I think they were also bringing like another 4 or 5 people just to kind of throw in here.
They were gonna do a what with her? She's gonna pop her claws. No, they ain't. What? Who invited more people? You know what? If anybody needs me, I'll be on the roof. And she storms out the window.
And probably knocks Fortuna off because she was sleeping on Harley's perch on the window.
Oh, Adita will climb
the
right
window.
over Fortuna, like spring over her. Adita is out the window and shimmying up a drain pipe.
Yeah, that's
with more people.
Yeah, that seemed a little more Adita than Adita's normal.
Yeah.
What? Like, poor Fortuna's waking up because someone just climbed over her.
Yeah. Our prickly porcupine is more prickly than normal.
She peeks out the window.
You would think if she was going to go outside, she'd put on a pair of pants. Oh.
Hey now, we all know Adita sleeps fully clothed. Probably would be the one jerk that would sleep in armor.
Probably.
If she could.
If she could, I know, like, she'd do it if she could. Adita is a one-woman go bag.
Ah, what is wrong with your ally, compatriot?
Wait, which of the pets is saying this? The rat or the cat?
This is the cat.
Okay.
I think it should be
Ah.
rat or the bat is what that should be, because the bats fly.
Nope.
Yeah,
DM
but
already said it's a
don't tell
cat.
the cats.
Fair enough.
Meow.
Good
So,
morning, Harley.
what is up with her? What has her proverbial goat?
She was just saying she had a hard sleep, but I don't know. Seemed like something more than that, at least according to Theodora.
Theodora's gonna start climbing out of the window after Adita.
Fortuna hasn't had a chance to move, so she's just like now scrambling out of the way because everybody's going out the window over her.
I'm gonna get Ceres by the collar and just no, Ceres
just
don't.
careful. Theodora's careful.
That was some accurate caressing.
Thank you. Oh. So.
Yeah, Fortuna, if you want a chance to kind of wake up before I just let him go.
Sure, I'm going to. Has anybody ordered breakfast? If not, I'll order it and wait here for it.
Oh no, I already ordered food. Should be here soon.
Okay, so I'll wait here for it because I'm still trying to process morning. I hate mornings.
Yeah, there's coffee and there's a bunch of croquettes coming. You hear that, Ceres? We got food coming. So either stay here and get food, or you can go up to the roof with them.
There is a golden halo above his head. I will stay in place.
Good.
All right. So eventually food will arrive. But let us... by the way, I followed your brother last night. I found him. I just found the man who looked like you without a beard.
All right.
So I can tell this tale for you two, or we can wait for everyone to get together so you can enjoy my oratory professional abilities.
Probably better. We could probably tell them because I think Adita might be a little bit.
Oh. Fine, I am telling the story. I'm only telling it once. So, as I traversed into the evening, late into the witching hour, with the moon above me, I sailed across the silent city. I did come to a point, but not just 1 point, 4 points. There appears to be a meeting of various people of, dare I say, ill repute. And before I stood on the roof, using my keen sense of hearing, I tried to listen in. There was several insults hurled between the various groups that have arrived. But there was 4 that were meeting to discuss things. One of the 4 was the one who looks like Nico, Mika. As he was talking to them, he seemed to be the one who was trying to sow for peace. But Mika appeared to have the devil's own luck. For a crossbow bolt came hurling from the shadows and struck near his foot. And almost with an instinct, probably from certain years of honing his abilities, he withdrew a sword, disappeared into the shadows. At which point, it would seem like all hell broke loose. But one of the leaders of the rivals gang, before they knew it, had a sword plunged into his clavicle as your brother jumped from the shadows, blade coming down straight through this part, right into his heart, killing one of the gang bosses dead before anyone's eyes. And it seemed like the fight was ready to get into full swing, but the sudden end of a human life, of a boss's life, stopped everyone in their tracks. Your brother then proceeded to act calmly and explain his situation. And it seemed like whatever he said, the others took his word. Though the other man's gang was ready to fight for their fallen comrade, he seemed to tell him something and put all their minds at ease. And thus they departed. As to what the specifics are, I do not know, for I was quite far away. And quite frankly, I wanted to take no chance of messing up my manicure. I survived. My manicure survived, so this story could be told. Hold for applause.
Hey, Fortuna, do we actually have to applause or?
She applauds for him. It's good manners at the circus that you applaud for a nice act, and he's actually a wonderful orator.
Ah.
Thank you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have done my work for the day.
She hands him his book back with the bookmark where she marked it for him before.
Okay. Now, Adita, you plunk your ass down on the top of the roof. And within a few moments, you see a kind of struggling to get up there as well, Theodora arrive. And she walks over and plunks next to you.
Yeah, I kind of figured you wouldn't be far behind.
I'm not as nimble as you are. Nimble, but not that nimble.
I mean, you do all right. Surprised you didn't wait for breakfast.
Nah, some things are more important.
I'll be down after a while. You didn't have to come up.
You seem out of...
It was just a bad sleep. Something's wrong with this city. Messes with the way you sleep. Messes with your dreams, you know? You had that whole cursed dream you talked about. And now I can't sleep. Not without intrusions.
Intrusions you rather forget?
I don't... You know, when I left a Mandragore, I left a Mandragore, and it doesn't want to leave me, you know? I guess sometimes... I don't know. I hate this city. Nico comes here and he finds his brother that he hadn't bothered to go looking for. You come here and got your beautiful cousin. And I come here and everything is too crowded and there's too many people. Everyone's too close and I can't find scorpions when I need them, and I hate this place. And I can't wait till we leave, Dora. I want to leave. I don't need... I don't need a mandragora anymore, and I don't need it to come looking for me either. And this place just, it feels like too much.
I get that. Just, I grew up here, and even it's too much for me sometimes. So I understand where you're coming from.
Too much for you? This place seems like it's your element. I mean, you were born to be in places like this where everybody laughs at your jokes and swoons when you walk through the room, and
But it's
you know,
an act, Adita. I could be myself around you guys, but I have to be perfect around here.
is that why you joined the Legion?
Part
you
of
never
it.
said.
Part of it. There's part of me that really doesn't belong here. And it belongs with you guys, and that's why I stuck around. That's why I leave with you guys, even though I can just stay here.
Yeah, you should come with us, you know? And Adital kind of gingerly put her arm around Theodora. I like when you come with us. You're funny and you're charming in all the ways I can't be. And I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of nice to have somebody who's good at the things that you kind of suck at, you know?
Oh, believe me, I know. You've made up for my failings quite a few times, especially when the areas of things that are stalking after us, and I just, don't notice until it's too late.
Yeah, I am kind of good at quietly punching a guy in the throat when he needs it, huh?
No, many guys in the throat. And kidneys. And the one kneecap, I mean, come on, that was one hell of a trophy.
I mean, kneecaps come in pairs. He was gonna be fine.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I guess. I guess we're kind of a good team, aren't we?
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
need to spend the day out, because it's gonna get crazy today, but if you need to, like, I don't know, wander off in the countryside and take a walk, maybe, enjoy the sea breeze away from the hordes of people that are no doubt gonna be flooding the streets trying to kiss you, although Oriana might be looking for you.
I really like her, and I mean, I wouldn't mind if she came looking for me, but even Oriana is as charming and pretty and graceful as she is. This city's just a lot, Dora.
Yeah, I get it. I think it's a bit for her as well.
I have such a hard time thinking of you two being out of your element here. It just seems like it was made for you and you were made for this place. And I know you said it's an act and everything, but if you don't belong here, where do you belong?
With you and Nikos, and even Saras, as much as wrangling can be an adventure in itself.
Yeah. I guess none of us really thought about what we were doing when we decided to keep that egg, huh?
No, we didn't. And I mean, it was a beautiful mistake, and it's had wonderful consequences. And as Nico's has attested to, worked out in our benefit quite a few times.
Yeah, I mean, as you'd say, you're not wrong. Ah, nah, Ceres is. He's alright. I never thought we'd all be adopting some, like, gangly, awkward little lizard. He was cute running around in his little boots, though, going, "Look, I'm a soldier too." Except it all came out all hissy and snarly because he didn't know how to use his tongue right, and it was all like, "Hey,
Oh,
look, I'm the soldier." And then we gave him that sandwich, and like he was so happy. We told him he killed it, and
I remember that. He was wondering where the blood was, and then Nico's got some ketchup.
that's right. Nico with the sauce. Oh,
Got
man.
everywhere and stained everything because Celeste was so intent that it had to be on everyone.
Makes you wonder if maybe we didn't teach him quite the right lessons. But I
He
mean,
learned.
he grew up at war. I
Yeah.
guess we could have done worse, right?
Oh yeah. But we all have our reasons for leaving where we were and for ending up in the Legion. And you're
Yeah.
right. Your past is behind you. You don't need it. And it may pop up, but just because it pops up doesn't mean you have to stick with you. You're past that. You're stronger than that.
You're supposed to be, right? We're soldiers. That's how it's supposed to go, Dora.
You're stronger than you think you are.
If anybody says otherwise, and she pops her claws out, we'll step outside about it.
Yes.
I know how to solve problems.
We can step
They may not
outside.
be your way, but I can solve them.
Hey, your way's sometimes the best way. It's less complicated.
It is kind of straightforward, isn't it? Thanks, Dora. I guess, I just kind of felt like the walls were closing in a little too tight,
Yeah, I get it. The door's always open for you, though. Yeah, go take a walk, you can.
Thanks. I hear that. Don't worry. If I go off wandering, I'll probably be back.
I hope so. We need your help wrangling Saras. Sometimes you're the only person that can find him.
Only because he smells so badly, I can't ignore him.
Yeah. So I heard something about a bathhouse
A what?
and Saras being in the bathhouse and you having to pull him out of that.
How did you find out about that?
Ariana.
She saw it?
She thought you were rather were bold and boisterous.
Now you're just making me feel better.
No. Believe it or not, she actually really likes you.
I'll believe it one day. You're just being kind because I had a rough night, and I get it. It's okay. Celeste, though, we can't leave him unsupervised for long. That's how we ended up in the bathhouse.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we left him with Nico, and Nico also doesn't always have the best eye. Maybe we should head back in.
Yeah. I was kind of starting to worry. And
Nico.
Nico's ears are burning somewhere.
The door. You do hear the knock.
Ceres, wait. Ceres, wait. Sit.
Oh.
Fortuna tries for what it's worth to hold on to Ceres.
That's hysterical.
Go to the door. Open it up.
Hello, sir. I believe we have a tray of croquettes, pastries that are stuffed with various jellies and jams. I also have a large pot of cafe as well.
That sounds perfect. Just bring it right in. Here you go.
Oh, and I do have a note here that I was told to bring to you as well.
Oh, this won't be good.
Take the note. Just kind of look at it.
It looks like paper.
My God, somebody sent me paper. Okay, but is there any writing on the outside of it, or is it just blank on the outside?
It says, "To the champion of the pits."
I'm gonna take a croquette and just hork it down real fast and take another one, just kind of stick in my mouth like a cigar as I open it up to read it.
I'm gonna try to, as terrible as this sounds, full strength to keep Ceres in place until the other two get inside to get something to eat.
All right, give me 1 second.
You just hear shuffling from above as they start to shimmy their way down.
Give
Theodore.
me an athletics check for Tuna. Rah! You're trying to hold on, and you're doing a good job of holding your ground, but you were not prepared for the explosiveness of this lizard. As he leaps forward and starts grabbing a bunch of croquettes.
Ceres, we have 2 other people that need to eat. Do you want to make sure that Adita and Theodora eat some too?
Of course! That's why I left. Extra.
I'll look over to Fortuna. It's also why I asked for 2 trays.
She releases him.
Eventually, Adita and Theodora, you come back in. You see Ceres has a tray of croquetas that he is stuffing into his face. And
Brian,
Nico,
oh, wow.
And Nico, you see he's got like a croquette, kind of like a cigar in his mouth as he's looking at something.
Yeah, what does this note say?
You open it up, and it basically says, "To the champion of the pits, and to his colleagues. My name is Calvuso. And I am interested in hiring you to be part of my caravan to Solanas Moor. If you're interested, meet tomorrow in the cafe at the Stiletto de Rosa so we can discuss terms and payment."
Huh. Hey, so apparently we kicked so much ass at the arena, they want to somebody wants to hire us to be bodyguards.
Hey, I'll take it. It's better than
Feels
guarding a creepy ass book.
Ducking back through the window. I'm sorry, did I hear hurt money or hurt people?
Hurt
Probably
money.
both.
Hurt people for money.
Oh, that makes so much more sense, Witch. See, I knew one of us was the smart one. Yeah, hurt people for money. I'm in.
Yeah, so basically
Does it
tomorrow.
get us out of Savona?
Yep.
Oh, hell yes.
Thing is, we meet him tomorrow, so we still got today to get through.
Isn't today that running thing that Theodora needs to do?
I love how I never voiced out of character. I love how I never voiced going to this, but everyone's like, Theodora's doing this, right? Theodora's like, I wasn't planning on it, but apparently I am.
Oh, I think Theodora's doing it.
Yep, Theodora's doing it.
I mean, after all, it's all just an act. She's got to be perfect.
You're not wrong.
Expectations are rough.
There are. Theodora's just gonna let up, just gonna sigh and say, yeah.
I mean, do we all
Yeah.
have to run, or is this one of those, like, we can briskly walk sort of things?
When
Well-
Theodora sighs, insight check.
Go for it.
I.
Ooh.
Okay, realistically, Theodora's like, yes, this is something I have to do. I am a priestess, I am in Savona, but she's kind of tired of it.
Not only does Nico know that she's tired of it, Nico even knows that she feels a cold sore coming on and is thinking that this might not be the best idea, and could that be enough to get her out of it?
I'm gonna get one of the pastries and just shove it in her mouth.
Very good. I do miss the food from here.
I will give that to you. Like, I hate your city and all the people in it, but your food is good. I could
Food's
eat these pastries
amazing.
every day.
I
What are these
concur
called?
with that assessment. Yeah, the food isn't so bad. I enjoy these croquetas. Oh.
The Bat Cat's back. So how'd your brother do?
Well,
You made it out alive, right? I mean, you seem in
yeah.
good spirits.
Yeah, sounds like he made it out alive and on top.
Of who?
Well, if what the cat says, if I'm understanding what the cat said correctly, he might be one of the top dogs of the gangs around here now.
Oh, damn it. Does that mean we have to come back here more often?
I'm not too sure.
Wait, does that mean we can't come back here?
I mean, I didn't say that.
You toy with my emotions, Nico. I'm gonna
I
throw
don't
a
see-
pastry at him.
I don't see it being a bad thing.
I'm gonna try to
Checking with
catch my mouth.
family. Do you?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to catch my mouth.
Oh no! Okay, so the rest you and Celeste are apparently fighting over the pastry.
All right. Give me a... Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go for an acrobatics check here.
Oh.
Acrobatics?
Acrobatics.
From what,
Let-
Nico?
Let's
Hey,
see.
can I assist? Because I mean, this was a team effort here.
I mean, he won anyway.
So,
This is just this
Oh.
is the
That's what I get when my roll 20 lags.
as the pastry is hurled across the room, you see Ceres go... And Nico's hands come sweeping down to catch the pastelito con queso. And Ceres is like... And padoom. Can I have one?
Theodore will literally hold one in front of his snout.
He opens his mouth.
She drops it.
Ow! There is eventually another knock on the door.
Popular today.
Yeah, I'll go answer it.
People have no sense of propriety. These
Uh,
are the 5 people that you said were coming, Nico. I'm out the window again, or I'm killing them.
Oh, I didn't. No, that was me just kind of joking around to kind of see if I get a rise out of you.
I'm gonna throw another pastry at the back of his head as he opens the door. I hate you.
Nico, give me a dex check.
Dex check or dex save?
Give me a dex save. Why not? All right. Let me do this.
Now, is that for the pastelito or for the door?
This is for the pastelito. You sense
Okay.
the pastelito coming behind, and you duck out of the way as you're opening the door to see before you Oriana.
Oh no.
And as Oriana comes, about to say hi, you see her hand quickly goes, shh, and catches the pastelito.
Ceres, we told you not to throw food.
Ooh, I like these. She exclaims.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey, Ariana.
they're really good. I like them a lot. That's why Ceres threw one to you.
Hey
So,
guys.
Yeah,
Hey,
we just
cuz.
woke up. We just got some food, but yeah, come on in.
hey, cuz. Hey, Adita. So,
Hi, Ariana.
I have, and she says she produces 2 tote bags.
Oh.
So, I have here some beads for everyone.
Oh no.
Adita, here are some green beads. These beads are something we like to call go the F away beads. So if anyone just comes up to you, just give them the beads and they'll go away.
Okay.
So does she just
I have
hand
go
the
the F
beads, or
away
does she
hands.
hit them with the beads?
You want to give them the beads because if you give them the beads, they'll take it, they'll put it around their neck and they'll leave. You don't have to kiss anyone.
I wasn't planning on kissing anyone. Unless you wanted a kiss, in which case I could I need to get some pastries. Is what I need to do.
I also have here lipstick for everyone, whoever wants to participate.
Oh, I volunteer Nico.
Wait, what?
Adita says from the corner of
Here
the
you
room
go,
where the
Nico.
pastries are.
There's lipstick and running involved. Okay, I need to be caught up on all of this.
Oh, well, you should know. And she hands a lipstick to Theodora, and she'll hand you one. The Festival of 1,000 Kisses is a story about how Larissa brought back her husband Cadip from what seems to be like an eternal sleep by kissing him 1,000 times. So, in the city of Sweet Savona, we honor this tradition, we honor this story by having the Festival of 1,000 Kisses, where men and women can go running through the city and they either receive a kiss, preferably, with someone with lipstick, places a kiss on them, or give them a set of beads. At the end of the day, the person with the most beads, and kisses will win a 1-week stay at the Larissan Temple where they can have any of their desire come true.
I mean, it sounds fun.
As she says, desire within quotation marks.
Theodora is already putting on her lipstick.
Wait, so I got to put the lipstick on.
If you want to, it is a choice, and I think that color will look really good on you.
Yeah, Nico. It can't make you look any worse.
Theodora's gonna lean over and smack a kiss right on his cheek, lean back, said, yep, it looks pretty good on him.
This would have been the perfect time to use the F-bomb, but it's like, you know what? Why not?
So, we still have a few hours. Can I sit and join you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, she puts the bags down. She will grab a croquette. She will then kind of fall into some pillows while grabbing Adita to drag her down with her.
Oh. 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 Okay.
Theodora is just going to wink at Adita and enjoy her pastries.
And you know what? This is probably an excellent place to stop for the evening.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone who came to
I want to
this.
see Nico run with lipstick.
So we will pick this up again next week, where we will have the Festival of 1,000 Kisses and finding out what one Calvuso has in store for our heroes. But first off, I like to do is I would love to thank my cast of characters. We're going to go by each one of them, and they get this time at the end of the stream to let us know what other projects they're working on. If that's something they're up to, and they are looking for some folks to pay attention. So let's start off with my good, lovely friend Heidi Hogarten, who plays Adita.
Oh, hey, folks. So, like GM Dave said, I'm Heidi Hogarten, your spook at large, and I guess erstwhile narrator. So I do have an audiobook coming out this July called The Bloodline Chronicles Witch's Night by Evelyn Silver. It is a spooktacular, sexy as hell, supernatural romance. So pick it up, have some fun with it, tell me what you think. We have a great ensemble cast performing that one, so I can't wait for all of you to listen to it.
All right, next, my good friend Mars, who plays Nico Valborda.
Hi, yes. So, like GM Dave said, I'm Mars. Aside from the shenanigans and buffoonery on here, you can also catch me Monday nights on the Random Encounter Productions game for the Disasters in Danger game, where, again, I am up to more shenanigans and buffoonery. Seems to be a trend.
All right. Our good friend Kez, who plays Fortuna Valmehem. What do you got?
Hey guys, aside from also being part of the rep team, I don't necessarily stream, but I do have art in various different places. You can find me by looking up Critical Kez on either Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook.
All right. And then the one and only, my good friend Shadow Shura, playing Theodora Valshim.
Not a whole lot going on right now. We're just doing more Monster Hunter and space shenanigans on my channel, which is most likely what we're gonna be doing tonight. And I will put the link in chat. Pop.
Yeah.
So all the good stuff there.
All right. And hopefully next week we'll have our good friend Slavinus back, who plays Ceres. And myself, my name is GM Dave. I have been your DM and host for Roleplay Games, a variety Twitch channel where we do video games, TTRPGs, and as soon as my foot gets better, we're going to be back in the gym and working out. So hopefully maybe this weekend I can do it. And you know what? I think tonight, let's go ahead and raid our good friend Kobold Sprig.
Hey, she's doing some deep rock.
DRG, I love that game so much. And as always with the stream, before we go, remember everyone, every single day, do something for your mental health, do something for your physical health. You deserve to take care of yourselves, and you could even do so in the smallest ways. You know, go for a walk outside and just wave to someone and say hi. You'll be surprised how that will feel for both your mental and physical health as just a small baseline. So take care of yourselves, because like my heroes here, you deserve to go on your own grand epic adventure. All right? And until we meet again, remember to always, and I mean always, crit those gains! And we'll see you all on the next stream. Take care, everyone.